Hello, today we're going to be showing you a quick demo of PLM in the Oracle Cloud. I'm going to start by showing you how flexible the system is. You can see here I've got various icons, then I can jump into different applications. The system is very configurable, so this is just one way to view things. I can actually include real-time links into data. Just going to refresh the screen here, bring up my analytics, and from right here I can see I've got 13 projects, I've got change orders going on, I've got 106 change orders in process, and these are all uh, linkable. I can also go to a completely different screen depending on who I am, so each user can have their own screen. From here I can have links to various dashboards, so I can see what's going on in the entire enterprise. It doesn't have to be just one aspect of things. We're going to concentrate on product management, so I click this. And down here you can see I've got a couple tools. These are some of the GoSaaS applications we've developed, and they fit right into the system. We're going to go to product development. Every time you go to one of the new applications, one of the modules in here, the first thing it does is it provides infolets. So you don't have to go looking for information. You don't necessarily have to run reports. Information is presented as soon as you come in. I'm going to go to a bookmark demo. We're going to look at the GoSaaS laser pen here. Brings up the first page, the general information. So you can see I've got a little JPEG thumbnail here. I've got various attributes, and these are the attributes out of the box. So I can see the description, the class, unit of measure, effectivity dates, things like that. I also got ways to track cost information for this. And this cost information is rolled up, so I capture costs for each item. Down the left side are various tabs. So the first one is attachments. If I click on that, I come in and I see, in this case, just the JPEG that I was showing, but I can put literally any file that I can store in a computer can be stored on this tab. I've got various attributes that describe the information. The next tab is the structure tab. This is the good old-fashioned bill of materials. We don't call it the BOM anymore. We call it structure because it's literally all information that's required to manufacture the product. So you can see the multi-level items in here, the names, the classes and subclasses, their descriptions. Each line item's got its own information. I can see the rev, quantity, unit of measure. I've got sequence in here, and all this is doing is providing a way to put the data in an order I want to see. I also have additional information. If I scroll over, this is where I can capture the cost information. And all the cost is entered at the individual item level, and then it rolls up to the sub-assemblies, and the sub-assemblies roll up into the top level assembly. All done automatically for you. It is a multi-level structure. I've actually experimented with this and taken it out to 64 levels. It actually works very well. I wouldn't suggest most customers do that, but the system will support it. And you can see in here I've got assemblies, sub-assemblies. If I scroll over here, you can see again I've got the two items cost rolling up into the sub-assembly, and then everything rolls up into the top level. If I need to update the costs, I can always just come to the actions, hit refresh cost, and it goes in and captures all the latest and greatest. If there's any changes, automatically does a roll up. I don't have to put it on a change order or anything like that. I can just do it on the fly anytime I want. I can also see that I've got things like work instructions, parts. Up here, the little dots show me I've got direct links to different aspects. So like changes, quality aspects, AML, attachments. So as I go down through the thing, I can see all the information that's available. If I go to the AML tab here, I can see the manufacturer part and the manufacturer of that part. I can have multiple AML lines in here. If I want to see the details, I just click on the link, takes me out. I'm now looking at the manufacturer, Halo, and I can see all kinds of details. I've got a separate tab for it. I'm going to go back to the part, the assembly, and I can do the same thing with the manufacturer parts. So navigating around is very straightforward, very simple. And rather than the old days where you had hundreds of attributes shown on a screen, it tries to keep things simple for the users. Okay, come back to the assembly. I'm going to go down. I'm going to look at the changes. So I click on the Changes tab, and I've got history here. So I've got pending changes. These are changes that are open against this item. And I've got release changes. So any of the history, if this had already gone through a change process, I would see that here. I'm going to go ahead and open up this change order. And you can see that the page looks very similar to the attributes on the other item on the assembly. It's got different attribution, but the page is laid out the same. I'm going to go to the Affected Objects tab, and I can see here this is the assembly that's on the affected items. I can see my new revision, I can see life cycle phases, and I can have a whole list in here, and effectivity dates, the current status, this is the workflow status, and then I can put various other attributes over here. So I can do dispositions. I can do expiration date for this old rev and when does the new rev become effective. I'm going to come down to the workflow tab and show you what the workflows look like. So I just simply click on that. It's going to bring up the tab. So this is one of the out-of-the-box workflows for change orders. You can create as many different workflows as you want. You can use the out-of-the-box workflows or a combination of each of those. If I click on the approval status, over here, on the fly, I can add approvers. I can also add approvers as part of the definition of the workflow. So I have a lot of flexibility there. I can capture any of the information. I can add users on as groups. I can add individuals. I can just come out and search. In this case, I'm just going to use myself. Hit apply and then done. And you'll see that I've now been added as an approver on this particular item. And you've got two different kind of approvers. Approvers and basically people that are just observing. Okay. One of the great things about the cloud is I can actually add tasks to my workflow. So most of the other applications out there in the market cannot do this kind of thing. So I actually have project management that goes along with the workflows. So I'm going to go ahead and enter something very quickly. It is required. I'm going to assign it to myself. Brings up the same search capability that we saw in the previous step for adding approvers. So again, people don't have to learn something new for every screen they go to. I'm going to give it the status it has to begin by, so it has to start right away. And then I need it done by either a date or another status. So I can track this. I can actually run reports on it. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then I'm going back to my assembly. The next tab down here are quality actions, quality issues and actions. I've got relationships if I want to add those. And then I've got security. I've got very tight security on this. So if you're working with customers that are FDA regulated or ITAR government, someplace where they don't want to share information, that can be controlled. I can come in here, click this button, I can do grading. So basically what this is showing me, if I'm ready to release this, say from pre-production to production, I can just click a couple buttons and find out what business rules I'm breaking by trying to do that. And in this case, I've got an unreleased item. I have to release the item before, I have to release the item before I go to production. So it's telling me where I need to capture things. And then of course I've got where used down here. Any place this particular assembly is used, I can find out in the entire universe in my system. Very helpful if I'm making a change, say, to a document that's used in multiple places. I'm going to come back to this particular input. I'm going to use the PLM dashboard. So one of the really cool things now is you can use the OTBI product as your navigation. So you don't have to go through those other pages. I can set up essentially pages like this, and it leads the users through. So if you've got users that use the system infrequently, you can make it very simple for them to navigate around in the system and find the information they're looking for. In this case, I'm looking at change orders. That's the icon I selected. I can actually apply filters to the data. So I can have defaults, but I can come in and change the defaults, and I can slice and dice the data any way that I want. So you see some basics here. I can come down and create detailed tabulated information. On the left corner over there, you can see I've got the ECOs. I can click on that and actually go directly to the ECO. I can add basically any information that's required. I can add to these reports and these dashboards. Here's just another view, filtered, similar information, just filtered a different way. You can look at summary information here. And the beauty of this, unlike competing products, is all of this data is in the system real time. Most other products, you enter the data and you have to come back after 12 or 24 hours to run the reports. In this system, you enter the data and probably 5 or 10 seconds later, you're able to go in and see the updated report on that. So not many competing products on the market can do things like that. Okay, so another view, just able to scroll down, find out as much information and log into it any way that I want. So that's the quick demo for today. We appreciate your time. If you've got any questions, you know how to contact us. Give us a call or shoot us an email or something, and we'll be glad to get back and talk to you about it. Thank you very much.